Today we're in the heart of London on the edge of Soho.
At a station that the Hidden London Hangouts have been at before, but today it's a very different part of the station.
A station with several identities. We're at Tottenham Court Road.
Hello friends, welcome to Series 4, Episode 15 of the Hidden London Hangouts. We're in exclusive mode at the moment because we have special access to some wonderful, wonderful parts of London's transport system, and we're in the Elizabeth line at the moment. You've seen the last couple of episodes, Paddington and Farringdon. We are now going to Tottenham Court Road. I missed this trip. I am gutted because I'm somewhere where we need short sleeves, not fur coats. I don't do this on my own. I've got some amazing people from the London Transport Museum to guide us through wherever we are and to have a bit of a laugh along the way too. First of all, Chris Nix, you're looking very smart today.
Oh, bless you, Alex. Unlike where you are, it's a little bit chilly here at the moment. So by contrast, I've got my winter mug from the museum shop on the go, as it was -4 this morning. How is it where you are?
Oh, it's awful here. I've got my Vitalish water, agua sem gás. I have my picture of the Lisbon tram up there. I've got my roundel. I'm all sorted out. But I tell you something, Laura Hilton-Brown has become incredibly festive on her Chester drawers, haven't you, Laura?
Decorations went up this weekend. Can't lie, guys, done it quite early. I've got my little roundels here. The plant is actually tucked behind me as well because my kittens continuously terrorize it if it hangs down, which is why I have it in that way. And I thought a little festive jumper for today as well. Let's get in the mood.
Yeah, you look really, really lovely. And the Christmas tree, actually, that you put on Instagram, follow us all on Instagram, by the way. You will get an insight into our lives. I'm looking at my Portuguese Christmas tree just over there. It looks lovely. But Laura's is gorgeous. No City today on the episode, but we'll hear from her a bit later on. But let's crack on with Tottenham Court Road, because we've talked about the Elizabeth line a couple of weeks now. We've been hearing about it for years. And it's only now that we're actually getting into those stations to see what they look like as the final phase of all this testing is going on. And I'm delighted to say Chris and Laura and Siddy went on the site visit. I was here, unfortunately, sitting on the beach, but they all went and did their thing. And Chris, just set the scene, because Tottenham Court Road is such a busy part of London, not only above ground, but below ground too. There's pipes, there's cables, there's sewers, there's train tunnels, there's goodness knows what. So this must have been quite an experience for the people who built this to actually make it happen.
Yeah, that area in the intersection of Oxford Street and Tottenham Court Road is an old part of town. So there's a lot in the ground already. If you want to know more about Tottenham Court Road Station, then do pop back and watch season 3, episode 10, where we covered the London Underground station there. But yeah, this new Elizabeth line station has to fit in the ground alongside a lot of other stuff, basically underneath a lot of other stuff. And as we said in the introduction, it is a beautiful station with several personalities. We'll see that as we travel around it today.
Gorgeous stuff. Now, Laura, you really teased me a minute ago before we started pressing record, because you said this is really the station that you should have visited. Don't rub it in too much, but what did you mean by that?
I know, I'm sorry. I know you're always working wherever you are, even if you're on a break in Portugal. There's always Alex beavering away, doing some kind of work. So I know you have been working, but it is a bit of a break for you as well. But as I was there, I just thought, I wish Grundon was here, because there's so many things at this station that resonated with me. And as soon as that kind of started to go through my head, I thought, that's going to hit Alex as well. That's going to hit Alex as well. Alex is going to like that. But I think what it is that it's a lovely, lovely combination of artwork, design, engineering, and just style. That's why I thought it really resonated with you as well. But it's the location, and all of those things combined just made me think, this is Alex's station. So you've got to go there. You'll see it all today, but I know at the end you'll be like, I get what she's saying. I want to go there.
Oh, lovely stuff. Well, listen, without further ado, let's enter from the Soho end.
And there we go, we're inside.
Would you look at that?
It's not a sense of arrival, isn't it?
Very
Really
lovely sense of space. And I love what your eye is drawn to. The design feature on the right-hand side, which runs through the whole station. And I believe it's a bird's eye view of Soho.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the layout, can't you? And what I love about this is most of them are little dots and circles, but every now and
of them's
again,
a roundel.
There's a little roundel.
But doesn't this give you a sense of, so this is more supposed to represent Soho and the nightlife, right? And this does feel more
Noir.
evening-esque.
Yes.
Noir.
Noir
Yeah.
is correct.
The amazing drum lights in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And as you descend down the escalators, there's ever so subtle flicks of like neon and different coloured lights, which just gives you that kind of character of vibrancy and evening kind of leisure and entertainment and theatre land.
We can go and have a look at that in a moment, but I do like those lights you just mentioned there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. You've got the lights, you've got speakers hidden within them, you've got sound damping. There's all kinds of things going on. They're aesthetically very pleasing to look at, aren't
They are, they really are.
And actually having so many of them gives a sense, it's almost like people or something, like there's so many
They're not uniform.
individuals
Yeah.
here, you know.
Crowd movement.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I mean, we've talked about this in previous weeks. We've got the granazzo on the floor again, looking very, very
Sparkly.
sharp. You've got the lighting on the escalator,
Yep.
sides, panels, and sound damping again up there.
Yeah.
So, again,
Pretty
Like
good.
clapping.
got
All
to do
the
the clap
time.
test.
Yeah.
But
Now,
should we go on- oh,
yeah,
go on.
well, I was going to say, I really want to have a look at that artwork, which is the screen over there.
Well, if you visit the station normally, as you say, you get to see it on the escalator as you're travelling down, but there's an even better vantage point that we can use as we're here in a private capacity before it's open, which is
where's
to
it going?
go up on this staff balcony.
Oh,
So,
oh, this is fun.
Here we go.
Okay. It's a heavy door. Oh, I do love doing things like this, guys.
Excitement
balcony.
levels rocketing right now.
Oh, but look at the view you get of the station and the ticket hall here.
it's a
Oh,
superb view, isn't
wow.
it, down into the station box, and we've got
Wow.
the artwork there by Douglas Gordon. Now we can see what's going on here, can't we? We've got an eye with different colours and words,
Yeah.
and we know what this represents.
Soho nightlife, different venues around the
Yeah.
kind of vicinity, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is the artist's eye reflecting the bright lights and the coloured lights of Soho at night when he's looking at those streets. And it's quite evocative, isn't it?
Non-stop.
Really?
I like that. Had
Non-stop.
Playland before as
Yeah.
well.
But also, this presumably, this hoarding's going to go, so actually people passing the station are going to be able to see these kind of flickering, bright neon colours coming through. It's a really
Yeah.
nice piece.
Be a nice treat at night, won't it, to go down that
Yeah.
street and just have that glow coming out.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Tremendous
and also,
space.
God, look at this. This is giving me a bit of sort of vertigo just standing here and looking down. Wow.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Of course, where we're stood is not a public area. This is for cleaning and maintenance and so on, but it's great to be able to come and have a
but also-
privileged look
Absolutely.
down, isn't
Just
it?
looking at the escalators that are moving, I'm just getting, and then the lights and that, I'm just like,
having a bit of a
"Whoa,
wobble."
whoa." I need to hold on to this railing here.
It's like, what's that film, Katsky, you know, the one about the sort of movement of life?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just watching the escalators moving. I'm bound to have got that title entirely
probably.
mashed up, but that film, yeah.
I'm not sure which one, but totally
Yeah.
agree.
So
Totally
I want to
agree.
point something out here I'm noticing. So these are stone, well, what do you call them, panels or something?
Yeah, so these are panels, but they look like they're made, you know, they're composite.
Yeah, but it's nice because in other stations, like when we went to Paddington, everything's kind of golden and light.
More
Here-
bronze, yeah.
Here they're really using this kind of black, it's inky black feel to it. It's really nice.
It does give you that full sense of the noir, but with
Yeah.
these bright lights searing out, it makes it all the more effective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Such a lovely nod to the local area for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, should we go and have a look downstairs?
Let's do
it.
this.
You know, I'm suffering serious FOMO. This station is absolutely incredible. So I wrote a few things down. First of all, Chris, our videographer, you are such a star. That place, the way you shoot it, you make it look so brilliant for all of us. I'm not even there. I love it. It's like a sexy club. Would you not agree, guys? That is so cool. The lighting formations on the ceiling, I thought were gorgeous. You're so right, Laura. This is my station. And I love the VIP area. That's just like a club. It's so cool. You know, you go up to the little glass entrance and then all of a sudden you've got that amazing bit where it reminded me a little bit actually of the Paramount. You know, that bar at the top of Centre Point all those years ago, Law?
Do you know what? As soon as I kind of saw that artwork and the drum lighting and the lovely kind of just flicks of neon lights as you go down, that's when I was just like, oh, I wish Alex was here. I wish it could have been the four of us. I know it just can't work all the time, but I knew you'd love it.
It's one of those places that we've said before in one of the episodes, that the artwork, the poster episode, that Soho meant something to me. You can probably all imagine why, for goodness sake, you've been watching this long enough. But to see the stations that are around Soho, these were places that were my ways in and out of my life. And to see what they're doing to Tottenham Court Road is glorious. Chris, your highlight of that whole booking hall area, what would it be?
I think it's... I don't know that I've got an individual thing. I think it's the atmosphere that it creates in total. You've got this intensely dark area, but with a lot of light going on. And just the overall vibe of it is really something to experience.
I'm going to just keep going with these videos because I just want to see more and more of it. The team then went down, without me, the team went down the escalators to have a look at the platforms. Take a look at this.
Oh,
It's the escalator shot, guys.
wow.
Wow.
That's
It's a
all I can
lovely,
say as
neat
well.
So beautiful.
box.
And just everything about this, every station we go to, I still find it remarkable how colossal these structures are.
And deep too.
Yeah.
So last week when we were at Paddington, that was 20 metres deep. We're at 24 this time because this is largely a mined station.
Oh, yeah.
So it's tunnelled rather than a hole in the ground that's then fitted out. So we're just in the box at the moment, but coming down into the mined tunnels.
Nice.
I love the mix of the materials. It just makes it feel very sculpted and clean.
Yeah, we're getting our first glimpse of the lighter side of the station here.
Do you know what? It's so interesting though that they've given this special identity to each of the stations, because they could have easily just been like, no, it's
More
all
uniform.
of one line. You know, we're just doing it. Everything, you know, is the same. The fact that they've given each station their identity is really beautiful. It's lovely.
And I think that's the thing. In this spot here, we've got those two things, haven't we? We've got that common architectural style
Yep.
that you see at the platform levels of all of them, you know, whenever we've been to one. And then you've got the individuality that's just this station, and you could only be at Tottenham Court Road. With it. Those drums are just magnificent,
Yeah,
aren't
they are. They're really, really cool. And just,
It's like jewellery almost, isn't
Yeah.
it, in the station?
and there's the escalator getting into its
So much
quiet
quieter,
mode.
isn't it, when it slows down? So much more energy efficient.
So where are we going to go, guys?
Curvy
Angles, curve.
curved platform.
Oh, decision.
Okay, let's do
Platform.
Let's
platform.
do it.
So we're officially in trial operations now.
Yeah.
Wonder when the next train's due. Oh, got the lift there.
Nice.
So, oh, hello.
Wow.
It's the first curved one,
It's got curves, baby.
It's very curved, isn't
isn't
it?
it?
Nice. Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
it just keeps
That is
going.
vast.
Wow.
Very different from the other ones we've seen. Very, very different.
Look, guys, as well.
Oh, it's a little house.
Soho Gardens.
Oh, of course, this is the hut that's in the middle of Soho Square Gardens, which looks like a Tudor hut. It's not. It's from 1925, and it's actually a very cleverly camouflaged electricity substation.
Ah, but what a
And-
lovely kind of... Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, isn't it nice that we've got this, the darkness kind of carries down onto this end of the platform. I wonder what it's like at the other end, though.
Should we go find out?
You should. I've just noticed as well, last week at Paddington, we were talking about these glass screens, which...
I was wondering about
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, so we were a bit unsure last week.
Right.
But yeah, apparently they are for, in the event of fire,
Yeah.
for containing smoke.
Ah,
so
so-
the guess was right.
Wait, so if, say, there was a fire here and there would be lots of smoke,
Yeah,
because the smoke rises, then it wouldn't be able to cross beyond.
that's right. It would basically contain it in this section rather than swirling around and going up through the escape routes.
That's very
So
clever.
super practical in terms of health and safety, but also very aesthetically pleasing.
It is, yeah, it's
is.
nice. You know, it's interesting here too. We're still sort of in the ticket hall area because see, we've still got the lights,
The drums.
and then suddenly it stops here with the kind of intro of the platform.
I think unusually you've got the tunnel coming as boards straight out through this box that built that escalator box. So yeah, it's a very unusual arrangement, but aesthetically, as you say, great. Should we
investigate?
have a look now?
Yeah, I have to say, Laura, I'm very, very impressed that you spotted the lovely, neat box.
Well, yes, I think that because I missed Paddington, which was very much the station in a box, and I'd been to Farringdon, I was kind of used to all the curves, and I hadn't been to Paddington to see it, so that was a bit of a wow moment for me coming down the escalators. Very neat and square.
Lovely, we'll get away with that. And Chris, you were saying as well about the platforms, because they're on a bend. There is something exceedingly sexy about platforms that are on a bend at these places because of the way they're lit. That shaft of white light that runs warm white, presumably, warm white, watch the previous episodes if you want to know what we're talking about. It looks so gorgeous, doesn't it, down there?
It does, yeah. The on that eastbound platform, that's the one that's curved. The other one's straight. But it's just to kind of fit it around the station and the available space in the ground. It's weird how much of a difference it makes to the sense of the space, just having that curve on it.
You can tell I'm in an impish mood today. I'll just bite my tongue for that one. Now, we're going to talk about virtual tours, because some of these stations, you're actually going to be able to tour before any member of the public goes in. It's going to be fantastic. Totally empty stations with beautiful camera work and narration and everything else courtesy of London Transport Museum. Chris, tell us about what's going to happen.
Well, we're busily working away on expanding our popular virtual tours program to include these stations before they've opened. And we're going to focus on a couple of them, and Tottenham Court Road is one of them. And we've got lots and lots of footage of them right now while they're all crisp and new. We've got footage of them being built, and we've got sort of key installation moments, even sort of drone footage outside the stations to show you them in their environment from a kind of a long way above, and some drone footage inside the stations so that you can see kind of key, very tall areas perhaps that you wouldn't be able to access with a person with a camera. And also historical information about the creation of the stations, key interviews with architects and so on. So I think it's going to be quite a popular thing. We're intending to put these out before the stations open, but also carry on offering them after they've opened, because they're sort of a key time slice of these stations being created and capturing them in that moment before the public get to use them. One of the things about this station in particular is that it has a very clever bit of technology under the track to keep it quiet. So between Tottenham Court Road and Bond Street, there is what's known as a floating track bed, which is basically the track bed is supported by springs. Now, our patrons have had a look at some of this already. We showed them the heavy duty springs in our first episode of the Elizabeth line at Farringdon, where that's got the really heavy duty floating track bed. It's a slightly lighter version here, but it's a really amazing bit of technology to effectively put a mattress, a sprung mattress underneath the track bed, and it isolates the sound to stop it transmitting through the ground to neighbouring buildings. So it's a very thoughtful thing to install.
Bouncy, bouncy. How lovely. So they're going to be going on sale, so don't worry about all of that. But we thought we'd take a little trip to the Central Concourse, because the great thing about this is I'm as nosy as you are, and I've not seen this really. So let's have a little look at another aspect of this station that the guys got to see.
So I think this is the first time that we've actually seen the advertising in these lovely lit boards.
Yeah.
Smart, isn't it?
I like it.
Really draws the eye.
It really looks nice. Oh, and over
I'm
there.
rather liking this curved glazed map. It's great to see the life, the line starting to come to life, isn't it?
Ooh, now this to me feels very almost like it's like an alien cocoon or something, like like a hive or something like that. It's got like a protective feeling around it.
I don't know about you lot, I'm getting the feeling that I should move out of this cool light towards the lovely warm light over on the on the platform.
I mean, I'm feeling exactly the same right now. No, but to be fair, it does. The warmer light does draw you over. It is rather chilly here as well, so let's
It's
go
well
in there.
ventilated.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now, Chris, you
yes.
were talking about something earlier, which is regarding this bit behind us here. Would you care to explain?
I would, I'd love to. It's a nice bit of future-proofing in this because, of course, the first Crossrail project is not the only Crossrail project that's considered for London. This is now the Elizabeth line, but Crossrail 2 would be a north-south Crossrail project. And there is a connection waiting here for that. And it's just behind there. So it's already built because trying to come back and build onto this station in the future would be a tremendously difficult, messy, expensive to do.
And you'd have to close parts of this and everything. Wait, so if Crossrail 2 does come to this, or when, rather, it'll be deeper down than here?
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
So the way that tube railway systems work is
You gotta go
whenever you build a
deeper.
new one, you're generally having to go down beneath the one underneath. And that really is one of the limits of how many tube lines you can build in London, because the deeper you go, the longer it takes to get in and out of the stations, and the less useful they become because it takes so long to get in and out of them. So Crossrail 2 is about the limit.
Wow, that's really exciting. Well, should we go to the other platform maybe?
Yeah, let's. I think
have
we
a
should
look.
work our way off to the other side.
So hang on a minute. What's behind that door then? What's behind it?
I'm not showing you.
Every time I ask a question, what's behind the door? I'm not showing you. This is unbelievable. So I love the idea that this station is even future-proofing the future. This is great. So effectively, we're going to be going down escalators there or something like that to another line in the future. We'll be at the mantle, won't we? Literally the core of the earth one day. Well, it's warm down here. I wonder why. The place is on fire. Gorgeous stuff. I love the fact that it's reminded me a little bit when you were stood there of York Road. That sort of lift entrance, the curvature of you know what I mean?
That's a really good thought. That hadn't occurred to me while we were there, but you're absolutely right. Those shapes of the tunnels coming together. Again, if you haven't already watched it, there you go. There's the
link. I love it. And again, Laura, the other thing that I really spot about this, because as I say, I'm trying to be you here and trying to interpret these things from video, but is how you get that kind of very nice, tidy box, followed by beautiful tunnels downstairs. It is a complete mix of the two stations we've had so far. Farringdon was very curvy, Paddington was very boxy, and this one is a mixture of the two. It's a glorious sort of expose of these stations and the designs as we go.
Absolutely, and I think you've hit the nail right on the head. I was getting lots of Farringdon vibes when we were at platform level, and I think the ticket level is just so unique. And just a lovely, lovely representation of, a gorgeous part of London, that lovely centre, kind of, the theatre and the leisure and all the entertainment that goes on there, and so close to Soho. And when we first went through the station, there's a few shops with, the neon bright retail lights. It's so kind of quintessentially kind of Tottenham Court Road, Soho, that lovely area. But you are right, it's an absolute mix of that kind of boxy entrance, neat box, and then all the lovely curves. And it just felt very sculpted to me, but in a very subtle but charismatic way.
Lovely. I'm still biting my tongue.
I know.
Yeah. And so one of the things we're trying to do now is we're trying to capture more photographs of people on benches, because it worked really well last time at Paddington. So I'm thinking the team probably decided to commandeer another bench at Tottenham Court Road. Let's see what happened when we went to the other platform.
The train approaching platform A is the train to Paddington.
Oh, this week you're doing the announcement. Excellent work. And
That was better than my
once again, your hair is untroubled by the waft of the train.
It
because it's
sure
all
is.
going underneath the platform in the ventilation.
Oh.
And
Oh,
Let's have a looky.
Oh, So look, the maquette for the priority seat is actually different to the other ones, just like they've done on several other lines.
Yep.
Oh, I really want to get on.
Looks super comfy.
Well, since we're not allowed to sit in there yet, should we try out the bench at this station?
Oh yeah.
I say the bench, there's more than one.
Silver
Ooh.
benches. Look at the little roundel on the side, guys.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Nice little bit of detail there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what do we think? It's been a long walk today, hasn't it?
I mean, this is a long platform.
It is. 234 metres?
Yeah.
This is very smart though, because like, you know, it's very fit for purpose. It's not trying to be frilly or, you know, anything.
Really.
I mean, you know what I mean.
But actually, because of the size of the tunnel, they're surprisingly comfortable,
Yeah.
aren't they? Because
You look really comfy.
well, no,
right
only
now.
because if you were in a tube tunnel, which is a smaller diameter, it would be doing that with
Yeah,
you
I guess
and forcing you
I guess
forward.
it depends on how tall you are, how long your torso
Yeah.
is, because the taller you are, the more you're sort of leaning towards that.
But I suppose with the eventual service frequency on here, you shouldn't be waiting that long.
Yeah.
So, as it is,
Very smart.
we've got a little wait for the next train to come in.
I like it.
Do you know, I quite like a seat with a roundel at the back, but do you know what? As other seats go, I thought they were very nice. And interestingly, as we go through, we're seeing sort of like vestiges of old and new. The cream on the walls reminds me of the platforms at Aldwych, the lovely cream. It just reminded me when you all sat there, I thought they could be on a modern seat being tested at Aldwych platform.
Yes, the key difference between these ones, though, and sitting on a bench in a deep tube, smaller tunnel, is that because the tunnel isn't heavily curved, it's actually quite comfortable. You've got a relatively straight back when you're sitting against it. So,
Love it.
I liked it.
Yeah, and Laura, voiceover Laura, this is a whole new career for you.
I mean, grab your moment when you can, guys. Grab that moment. I thought, this is my time. They were doing, obviously they're doing the test runs at the moment, and the audio was on as well. So I just thought I'm going to copy the lady and do a little bit of audio. So yeah, lots of fun.
You were glorious, absolutely fantastic. She's available for voiceovers, by the way, on the London Transport Museum's voiceover agency.
Absolutely.
Voices.co.uk. It's lovely. Christopher Nix is also available, and I'll do it for free, Frank. But one of the things that I've not seen on these designs so far, or these videos so far, is what we have affectionately become known as the totem wood or the totem forest. Now, totems are those signposts that sort of stand lit in long corridors, generally uplit with luminaires. But I've not seen that this week, Christopher.
Well, you're about to get a glimpse of a small number of them, and we've gradually been developing our language around these since episode 1 of the Elizabeth Line specials. And we'd been introduced to the concept of the totem forest at a station where there's lots of them, which we'll be doing shortly. And then when we first saw them, there was a small gathering and we decided that was a totem wood. Obviously, an individual one is just a totem, but it was struggling a little bit for what you call a couple of them together. And then it just occurred to me when we were at this one, it's a totem copse, COPSE. That's a very, very small woodland, a copse.
Yeah, heart missed a beat there as you said that. Quite remarkable. So we thought they thought they would. I wasn't there, but they thought they would leave via the centre point end. So there's two ways in: Soho end, in through Soho, out through centre point, and the team decided to sashay their way and check out to see what they could see.
So, did you get the from the train pressure coming through the doors? Well, if you were on the Northern Line today, we're waving at you.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, they look confused.
Yeah,
They are waving
what
at
are
me.
these
But I
people
think we
doing?
need help, and maybe we do.
So this will eventually be open and will be the connection into the Northern Line and the rest of the network here at Tottenham Court Road.
So this is one of these instances where all the connections have been made. They're just lying dormant, ready for opening day.
Ready to go.
This is so cool.
But it's quite the contrast at this end, isn't it?
really
It's
is.
much brighter.
Yep.
So the second identity of the station, the bright end.
And if you look here, guys, the light drums are wider and less tubular than
Yeah,
they
they
were
are.
at the beginning.
Yeah. This, I mean, this feels different. That maybe is a nod to the fact that this is more like shopping of Oxford Street, more commercial maybe, not as nightlifey.
And the colours are a lot more vibrant, aren't they?
They are.
Gone is the noir, and it's replaced with this beautiful kind of warm red and the white behind us.
Actually, the red is quite interesting, isn't it? Because, of course, Tottenham Court Road's current lines are the Central Line and the Northern Line, and so you've got black and red there, which is a lovely little nod to that, right?
Yeah. Well, just like last week when we were at Paddington and we finished with the escalators leading out, we've got a very similar arrangement here. So shall we?
And they're very impressive escalators, so let's do it.
It's a similar idea, but a different palette. So we've got the sound damping on that big wall.
Yep.
And then up there, these massive beams which are holding these walls out in the ground and making sure the ground doesn't push them in.
Yeah, this is like the ones that we had in Paddington last week.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Guys, cast your eyes upwards again. Look at that glorious artwork, that very fine, intricate, delicate gold kind of gilded leaf in quite a geometric pattern.
Yeah.
It's lovely as well because it's applied straight onto the concrete as it was cast. So you get that variation.
Yeah.
It works very, very well. I'm a big fan.
Super detailed too. Must have taken
Yeah.
ages to put on. Wow.
Tricky material, gold leaf, isn't it? And here we are. So the station that you can use today, all bustling with people going about their journeys. And it won't be long before you'll be able to come here. These gates won't be here, and you can go and use the Elizabeth line.
Can't wait.
One of the things that really struck me about that colour of red was that, do you remember the days before? Do you remember the days before the Elizabeth line was even a twinkle in the eye of Tottenham Court Road station, and you would go into the station via the Astoria entrance, and there was all of that. Was it Paolozzi, the mosaic artist? My memory of all of this, and Laura, you might remember this, was that the majority of colour on that wall was red. And it was very similar to the red that they've chosen now. Now, I'm a very slightly colourblind, but I think I'm all right with red. Would you agree that it feels mildly reminiscent of Tottenham Court Road of yesteryear?
Absolutely. And I think Siddy really liked that red as well. And you've got the black at the kind of more noir Soho end, and then the white and the red that just kind of lifts it slightly at the centre point end. And I think, I mean, I'm not sure if it's on purpose or not, but I'm sure it is. But I think that's really, really clever. I actually really love that kind of just colour shift of palette. And I agree with you totally, Alex. If I had to pick a colour for Tottenham Court Road, the original station, I would also pick red. Yeah,
it's funny, isn't it? Immediately makes me think of it. I mean, and Mr. Bond, we'll come to you in a second, but I love the circles and the straight lines and the juxtaposition of the two in that station as you leave from that escalator.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've been joined by my very large cat, Mags.
Yeah, I've been expecting you.
He said he wanted to come and star as well. We said at the start that this is a station with two personalities or identities, and here we are at the bright, glitzy shopping and theatre end. You know, it's on the edge of theatre land there, so that's its second identity really. And you've got this really quite I was about to say ritzy. I'd like that artwork. The title is no title, but it's a really different piece of art to the one at the other end, and I rather like it.
Great stuff. So we have for you Tottenham Court Road. Enter via Soho, leave via Centre Point. You've got that beautiful, glorious curved platform with some very, very functional but delicious seating on there as well. You have some totems. You have beautiful escalators. You have that pop of red, which is stunning. I would say, and I've not even been there, I might even say that's my favourite, Law, so far.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I just needed to hear you say it yourself. I knew it.
It's so interesting to see.
I got very excited then. Sorry.
Yeah, really, no, honestly. And it's the curved platform, Chris, that really struck me. There is something about, I was expecting straight platforms, and then you get a curve. It's like, oh, this is sexy.
Yeah, we did say at the start that these stations have all got their own personality, and they just like a Jubilee line, it might have a line identity and some common factors, but the lovely thing about them is they retain their own sense of space.
I love it. I've got to catch a plane and get back to Blighty -1.
Come back to see us. Come back.
Oh yeah, I'll be back for another tour later in the week. But a few notes, queries, and questions. Chris, what's happening? You're being attacked.
My cat just decided to climb up my shoulder.
Oh, we've got to put that in the show. Please.
I don't even know as it came out on camera, but literally the cat slapped his face.
He was just desperately trying to cuddle.
I love that. First of all, Siddy can't be here today because she's at Down Street. So here's a message from Siddy Holloway.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't join you today, but I'm actually at Down Street doing some press interviews for our ticket launch for Hidden London Tours, which go on sale this week. Actually, when this airs, they will have gone on sale yesterday, Friday, the 3rd of December. So your chance to come and have a look at this.
Bless you, Siddy. And Chris, you wanted to say one other thing, didn't you, about the virtual tours?
Yeah, the good thing is we're now getting back to normal with our Hidden London program. So we're about to launch tickets for the both in-person tours and more virtual tours. So if you haven't already found your way to museum's website and signed up for the newsletter, good time to do it. You always get advance warning and slightly advanced booking by doing that. So yeah. Please head on over to the museum website.
Gorgeous stuff. And by the way, Law, very, very important stuff to come. We've had sneak preview of something which is exceedingly exciting even. But Chris, you met a new fan via a singer at the weekend.
Yes, so I was doing some recording over the weekend for one of our forthcoming episodes to show what the museum's doing at Christmas and what other transport museums around Europe are doing for Christmas. And I met the Papini sisters, who have just recorded their Christmas album. They've very kindly done us our own Hidden London Hangout jingle.
This is so exciting. And isn't it the partner of one of the singers watches us?
Yes, that's right. So we were chatting away beforehand, and she was on the phone to her boyfriend, and was like, "Oh my God, I've just met this guy here. He's like, don't I know you from YouTube?" Yes, you probably do.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We need to do more of this. Some comments as well on last week's Paddington episode. It's Monday morning and the viewing numbers are running at about 5,000. So thank you. These numbers are shooting up at a speed that we didn't even know. If we thought too much about how many people are watching us, Law, we might get a bit nervous. Do you not think?
The numbers are fantastic, I can't lie. And it's lovely to get all of the comments as well. Largely positive, which is nice, because we had no idea this was going to happen. We've said right back at the beginning, we had no idea we'd be getting access to these kind of stations. So it's just lovely that we're all going on a journey as a four, and that everybody's kind of, still with us, and we're picking up new people along the way.
I'm actually thinking of having a pair of underpants designed that say special access written on them. And I think that'd be quite nice for the London Transport Museum. Have that one for your shop.
I mean, they're a Christmas present right there, Grundy.
I've got ideas for that already, guys. You're going to love it from me this year.
Is it Grundy's Undies?
Grundy's Undies.
Is that the new product?
There you
Grundy's
go.
Christmas Undies.
That's what we want, a maker's market. There we go, Grundy's Undies. There you go. Right, okay, so comments on last week's episode. Aaron Reed, hello, Aaron. He says, does one have permission to ask a really pedantic question? I don't know what that question is yet, but I've just replied underneath, one does. Ben Davidson, Pixdog says, gorgeous station. I made a model of an early scheme by John McCaslin and partners of Paddington Crossrail. That must have been 18 years ago. Just shows how long Crossrail has been in the planning. I tell you something, it's so close now. So close. PJ Hannafin, hello PJ, says, has anyone noticed that tube map fit on the platform is needing the Northern Line extension added as well as the central section of the Elizabeth Line? Now I'm figuring that those the things that we're seeing at the moment will kind of be updated before the stations are opened. Is that right, Chris? So if maps are a little bit out of date, perhaps the Northern Line extension or another tweak has been added, they will get updated, won't they?
Yeah, all of that stuff's going on now in advance of opening in the next 6 months.
Yeah, Clive says, great hangout at Paddington. Reference light bulbs and lamps. Bulbs grow and lamps glow. I was always told this for many years when I began my apprenticeship. I like that. It's like I before E, except after C, isn't it?
Yeah, the bad news is if you've been planting your light bulbs, you're not gonna get
Wrong way round.
You're gonna see them come up in the spring.
I've been waiting for a luminaire tree in my garden for years. Alistair says, I'm sure the Elizabeth Line train would easily stretch from West India Quay DLR to Canary Wharf station. Would it be long enough to extend to Heron Keys DLR as well? Wow. You need to tell us. Get your measuring tape out. Let's see what happens here. Ian says, Leicester Square to Covent Garden. Although you don't get any part of the train in two stations at once, passengers observing the back of the train departing one of those two stations can do so at the same time as passengers observing the front of the train arriving at the same time.
Is now a good time to say, please don't lean over the platform edge to do that.
Please don't switch off. We've got, what else we got? Andy Chanelify, I think that is. Something else amazing, Elizabeth Line trains unique from any other line is the overhead pantograph supply. Pantograph supplies like Grundy's Undies law.
Totally. I mean, it's the same thing.
Right, okay, what have we got? James the Plonker says, Alex, I laughed so much when you pulled the lamp out. My brother heard me in the other room. I'm so glad we raised a smile.
Somebody found you funny, Grundy.
You know what? Write it down.
Note has been made.
Yeah, we'll have that for LinkedIn. Mark Smith, the camera angle at the start makes it look like Siddy is wearing huge clown shoes. She was, and actually, Chris was wearing a water squirter.
A massive thing.
Yeah, you were wearing a water squirter in your carnation, weren't you?
Squirty flower, honky horn.
There we go. There's my name of the weekends, honky horn. It's great. And Jamal Stain says London's the biggest city in the UK and full of history and charm, the best city in the UK. So much to explore. Loads of other comments. Thank you so much for all the lovely ones. You're so kind, and we really appreciate it. It's hard to get these into our weeks because we're all so incredibly busy in the run up to Christmas, but there's a bit of us that just pushes that extra bit harder to do this. I've got to go now. I've got to catch a plane. Laura, thank you so much as always for A, endorsing the station for me because I do love it, and B, just being fabulous and interpretive for us.
Love you too. And all I want to say, Alex, is goodbye, take care and stay safe.
Oh, she's got it as well, my slogan. And Chris Nix, you are a star.
Oh, bless you, Alex. Missed you this week at the station, and I look forward to recording next week's episodes with you rushing in the front door, having just got off the plane, still with all your suitcases.
The flight was delayed again. I can't believe it. Right, okay, thank you very much. Next week, we're doing something really cool, slightly different, but really cool instead. But I think you're going to like it. I think it's going to put you in the mood for Christmas. In the meantime, have yourself a great day and stay safe.
Hidden London.